All right, next one up, reducer coupling. What we're going to talk about here is basic extrude feature as well as a basic revolve feature. We're going to use some of our sketch geometry that we talked about from the previous couple of exercises. There is what we're doing. All right, so reducer coupler. Let's go ahead and get this running. All right, we're creating a new document. This time we're in inches, so we're going to double check that. Starting in Onshape, remember cad.onshape.com, or now hopefully you have that bookmark set up at this point. Create document, and I'm calling this reducer coupling exercise. And I'm going to just make note here that this is extruding and revolve practice for us. Hit create. Okay, as per usual, we got our starting screen. And in this case, remember, we want to double check our units. 3 bars here, workspace units. We are in inches. That's where I'm defaulting to. So that is good. Rename the document Part Studio Reducer Coupling. I already did that. And we can delete the assembly tab. It's not necessary, but that's also not necessary to do. Next slide. All right, create a sketch for the flange. Start a new sketch on the right plane in this case. So we're going to come over here to the right plane, sketch. Come over your right plane, or again from the list over here. I'll choose it right there. Hit N for normal, or you can navigate it using this little view bar if you prefer doing it that way. All right, right plane, and again, circle, circle. We got a couple dimensions. And looks like 4 circles coincide into a construction circle. Add the appropriate vertical, horizontal constraints. All bolt holes are the same diameter. Add dimensions as shown and accept the sketch. All right, so we're testing out our sketching abilities here. Let's make sure we know how to do it. So a bunch of circles really is what we're doing. For my own sake, I'm going to move this over to the side so I can pull it up here. All right, so first off, center point circle. Everything's around the center. So let's start off with big circle. That's going to be the outer one. You got an inner circle. The next one I'm going to make into a construction. So the way you can do that is either make it first and then come over here, construction, choose that one right here and hit construction. Turn that into a dotted line. And then we also have 4 more circles. Looks like this might be some sort of a hole. And I believe these want to line up to the middle here. So I'll have this one here. This one lines up to the middle over here. This one lines up to the middle over here. And then this one's lining up to the middle that way. All right. And then D for dimension, or you can find it up in the top bar. This one up in the big one is 6. This middle one over here is 4.75, and the little one is 2. These little holes are all 0.625, and instead of typing that a bunch of times, I'm going to say equal constraint. Let's make that one equal to that one equal to that, this one equal to that. And everything is black, all constrained. Hit the check mark. On to the next one. All right, so it says here, next slide, extrude the flange. So extruding is this tool here. After you have a sketch, we're going to make it a new part. It's the first part, so it has to be new. And focus in the face and the sketch regions to extrude. Select the end condition to blind. Toggle the opposite direction if needed. And set the depth to 0.62. Okay, so we got a few things going on here. So first off, we finished the sketch. If you want, you can rotate back around. I like doing it this view so I can see what's happening. Hit extrude. Shortcut there is Shift E. And again, I'm making a new face region I want to extrude is this guy. Right now it's going out this way. That's all good. And then the other part was the depth 0.62 is what we want. So I'll change that right there. 0.62. Hit enter. And I've got the start of my shape coming together. Next slide. Okay, create a profile to revolve. The transition in the reducer. Sketch on the front plane. Use the use sketch command to convert the edge shown with label A. So we're going to do this edge right here to the line on the sketch shown with label B over here. Optionally select the converted line and make it construction for clarity. Flange is hidden in the sketch. Draw a center line. Construction line horizontally from the origin. Okay. Draw a line starting from the top endpoint, diagonally up to the right. All right. Close it. Make sure another line is parallel. Okay, we're gonna add a couple dimensions afterwards. All right, let's do one thing at a time here. I know there's quite a bit going on. Okay, so the next thing is sketch. We're doing it on the front plane. Okay, so imagine what we're doing here is we're gonna add kind of that shape coming out from the side. Remember, our final thing is gonna look kind of like, if you remember from the beginning, it's gonna come out from here and create like a larger piece that it connects to. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to rotate around. I'm using a right click to rotate, and that allows me to kind of pan around. So the first thing, I'm using the use tool. It's this one, project or convert, and it wants me to use this outer rim. If you saw over here, this rim over here. So I'm going to use this, and that's going to create this first line, which is what this line is. And what it was suggesting was, from this point, maybe I want to, actually I'm going to move my face on this side. Okay, I'm going to hide this part for a second. So now I've got this line that is really the inside edge of the flange that I'm creating. And it was suggesting here, let's go ahead and turn that. That's what this piece is right here. I can kind of tell because I see the origin. It's right there. I'm going to make this a construction line. So let's go ahead and select it, turn it into construction. So now it's dotted. And then it says from there, horizontal construction line going to the origin. So I'm going to make another line, make it still a construction from the origin going out horizontally. Okay, and then if I want to end it, see this little, I'm going to hit escape key. And I'm going to make this little shape coming out here. So draw a line starting from the top endpoint of the converted line going down up to the right. So essentially it's going to look like this is my understanding. Line, choose the top here, up to the right. Have another line coming out here. Come across this way. Have it match and come back down. I believe is the move. So let's double check. Close the profile with vertical line, make sure that lines labeled C are parallel. Okay, let's make sure these are parallel. So I'm going to come over to my constraints. There is parallel right here. Again, if you can't find it, search tools, search for parallel. This guy and this guy need to be parallel. And then this and this should be parallel too, if that wasn't already done. Okay. Oh, this is a good pro tip. Press and hold shift to prevent automatic constraints. So in the future, if you don't want to make sure things aren't locking together, you can do that. All right, adding dimensions. I got to move my face again. We got to add those dimensions, make sure it's fully constrained. Instead of converting the edge to, should I pierce constraint? Oh yeah, that's a good tip. Okay, so a couple things. This length needs to be 4.625. I'm going to move this over here for a second. So dimension from here to here. This is 4.625. Okay, watch this move right here. We want this edge to the middle. Right now, if I do this, notice it's going to be the distance in between. Drag the mouse past the construction line, and it turns into a diameter. That's what we want, 3.75. And what other one am I missing? Oh, I see it. From here, it's this diameter, from here to here. Again, notice right now, if I click between, it's the distance between. Move it past it, turns into diameter, 2.625. Everything's black, yay. That's looking good. I should be able to check mark it now. Next slide. Let's go ahead and check it. And this is what I'm going to revolve. All right, move my face again. I'm going to unhide it so you can see what's happening. So right now, if I look here, I'm going to make that shape going around the inside here. So this is a revolve. Revolve is great for anything that's kind of cylindrical or maybe even spherical in nature. So here I'm going to do solid. Oh, by the way, I'll pull up my instructions over here again so you can see. All right, this is step 5. Revolve, it's going to be solid. I'm going to add. I'm choosing that the sketch I just made. Revolve axis is the line in the middle. I'm rotating around. It's going to be a full, and we're going to merge it together. Okay, so come over here. It's solid. I want it to be adding. The face I want to revolve is this profile. The revolve axis is this axis. It already popped up. Merge with all, it's already doing it. But you can select it, so it's going to keep everything together. Check. Yay. Things are coming together. All right, let's see. Next slide. Okay, creating the second flange. New sketch on the flat face. We're using that bottom face. Use the U sketch to grab that bottom one. This matches the inner diameter of the flange. Draw a circle with its center coincident to the origin, outer diameter. Then we got 4 circles. Add appropriate constraints. All bolt holes are the same. Add dimensions. All right, usual deal. And then hide the part in the parts list with the hide icon to make it easier to sketch since they do not share any dimensions. Okay, nice pro tip. All right, so next sketch. Instead of choosing one of these planes, I can actually just choose the face. So I'm going to sketch right in the bottom here. Hit N for normal, or you can rotate around. All right, so the first one, though, before I hide the part, I want to make sure I am using this inner diameter. So again, I'm coming here to project, use. I'm going to select, I'm going to rotate around, make sure I select the right one. I want this guy, that circle. Okay, go back to normal, and then move my face. Come over here, I'm going to hide that. So now I got that first circle. Okay, this is what I'm drawing. I'm going to move it over to the side so I can just do it all in one go. All right, I need another circle. Center point circle coming out here. It's going to just generally eyeball it this way. And there's going to be a construction one there. And then let's go and make that construction now before I forget. Oops, construction. So that's dotted. And then there's a few more circles. Center point circle. Okay. And then in future reference, just kind of as a preview, if you see something like patterning like this, it'll be really helpful in the future. We have a circular pattern tool that you'll learn about. It'll make your life easier. But in the meantime, we'll make all 4 of those separately. And I just got to dimension stuff here. So this outer diameter was 7.5. This guy right here is 6. All the small ones are 0.75. And I'm going to make sure those are all equal. Equal constraint, this guy with this guy, this guy, this guy, and then this guy. All right, they're all equal. Everything's black. It's all constrained. Sweet. All right, let's take a back look at my instructions here. Next slide. This is another extrude. All right, this time we're going to add it. We got a couple of sizing stuff. All right, cool. So hit the check mark. I'm going to unhide my part so I can see what's happening. Rotate it around. Going to extrude. This is the part I'm extruding again. Oh, got to be careful here. So we want both this entire sketch actually. So I'm going to, oops, wrong thing. So notice here, it's the face of sketch 2. So you know what? I'm going to actually just choose sketch 3, I mean. I'm going to just choose it from the list over here. All right, the one thing you want to be careful about, you want to make sure it actually overlaps here. You see how it's connected to that inner loop. So be careful what you click on. The depth part, another thing I want to keep track of, 0.75 for this one, 0.75. Hit enter, and it is merging with all. So let's make sure they all connect. Okay, note that they're adding together. And we'll know if it's a different color, that means it's actually a new part. So you want to make sure everything's connected. It's all one color. All right, we're nearing the end here, y'all. So stay with me. Rename the part. It's just telling us to rename it to reducer coupling. We can do that pretty easily over here. It says part, right click, rename, reducer coupling. Click off of that. Next slide, optionally try redo for a different way. Oh, you can try some different options of doing this. Again, the more you practice it, the better you are at getting this. So technically, we could have done this whole thing with a revolve. That's kind of what they're saying. We'd make that entire shape. Imagine cutting it in half and what that would look like, and then revolving. Now we're going to do this final check. We're going to check the surface area. So select the entire part, and we'll double check that. That's what we're going to submit. Move my face one last time. Okay, I like to go to isometric view. I'm going to hide my planes, hit the letter P. Select it, and then in the bottom right, you see this little display mask sections. Choose that. Surface area is what I want to get here. So it looks like should come out to about 248.367. I'm going to screenshot this entire thing, submit it. That's your assignment.